So let's just do a little check-in and see how we're feeling. So close your eyes, spine nice and straight. And just take a moment to scan through the body. Notice how the body's feeling. Try not to identify with what you find, just observe it. And then scanning through emotional body, noticing what's present for you today. And then scanning through your mental body, noticing what's present there for you today. So when you notice the physical, emotional, mental, literally just observe it. Don't attach yourself to it, because then it just becomes a story and it becomes more present. So just noticing what's there today as the observer of the meat suit. Or I found a few other ways to describe it. So I used to describe the body as the biological vehicle, so that might suit you. The meat suit, I like that, because I imagine that we float in when the soul decides to reincarnate again and we zip up. Or the gravity suit, so it's what holds us in the earth plane, which is quite a good way to describe how the soul is an infinity energy, and it's always been present. It will never cease to exist, and that's the part of us that is eternal, and the meat suit is just transitory, really. And this time, this one's called Sarah. I've had many other lives, as we all have. So just noticing what's going on for this particular body this time round. And let's just, with our attention as the observer, let's take a twist to the right. Notice what this observer discovers as we twist to the right. Lovely, and let's go over to the left. Just noticing what's present, so maybe there's more tension on one side than the other. Lovely, back to center. Let's inhale and lift the gaze, squeeze the elbows back, flexing the spine. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Notice that sometimes when you get a sense of heaviness, so my body, my energy body's been feeling quite heavy recently, just quite tired really, that I often get an overwhelming desire to want to sigh out or yawn. Tends to be the case at the moment. So just, if you feel like that, then let it happen. You don't need to control it out through the nose. Just make sure the inhale is through the nose. And then start to really emphasize the exhale with a ha, H-A. just releasing out from the heart space. Lovely, and release. Let's release the neck, just turning the head from side to side. Lovely, and then we'll bring a little bit of tension into the shoulders and the neck. So as you inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ear. And as you exhale, release. And again, breathing in. And once more. Lovely. Now just bringing your attention to the breath at the tip of the nose. And let's bring our hands into either chin mudra, which is just the thumb and index finger touching, or the meditation mudra, where you just place one hand into the other, thumbs touching. Checking that the spine is nice and straight and that you're not collapsing forwards over the belly. The spine is sometimes likened to a stack of golden coins on top of each other. Let the jaw be relaxed but not hanging open. And then observing the natural breath at the tip of the nose. So just going through those standard checkpoints as you move into meditation. Notice how the inhaled breath has a very different energy to the exhaled breath. So before we start some classical pranayama, we're going to do Kapalabhati, which is technically classed as a pranayama, but it's also a kriya. So it clears the frontal brain area. Kapalabhati translates as shining skull breath. So you get this sensation of clearing this area. So when we're very tired, sometimes we naturally do this, don't we? We kind of, when we're trying to think and I just can't remember, we rub the head, which is the body's natural response to trying to clear energy. So this is a forced exhale. If you're not used to doing this type of pranayama work, then bring your hand to your belly. The inhale starts as a normal inhale. And then as you exhale, you push the breath out and let the inhale relax. And just keep going. So sometimes I liken it to imagining that you've got a clear tube, like a big water pipe that's clear. And at the bottom of that tube, there's a ping pong ball. And you've got to try and push the ball to the third eye with the breath. So you're pushing it up and then letting it sink back down on its own. Take a deep breath in. And a sigh out. Let's do another round. So start with a normal breath so you get a good breath in. Push the breath out from near the belly. Deep breath in. And a breath out. Just noticing the subtle change of energy, especially around the forehead. And let's have one more round. So when you're ready, take a breath in. Push the breath out. Good deep breath in. And a sigh out. Lovely. Now I'm going to very gently block the right nostril. Bring your attention to the left nostril. And I want you to breathe in for a count of 6. Hold the breath in for 3. Breathe out for 6. Hold the breath out for 3. Keep going. Just stay focused on the count. So we're working at bringing balance to our emotions with this count. Lovely. Now we're going to switch sides. Block the left nostril, breathe into the right. Same count. Notice the mind might start wandering off. Just acknowledge that, bring it back to the count. Lovely. Now release. I want you to bring the hands together in Hakini Mudra. So you've got the fingers all touching and the thumbs, but it's almost as if you're holding a ball of energy. So it looks really like the brain when you look at it as a mudra. Focus on the tip of the nose. So this helps to balance the right and the left hemisphere, so the male, female energies within us all. And as you focus at the tip of the nose, just simply work with that count again. We're going to increase the count after a few rounds. So breathing in for 6. Hold for 3. Breathe out for 6. Good. Now if it's comfortable, and only if it's comfortable, I want you to breathe in for 8 now. Hold the breath in for 4. Breathe out for 8. Hold the breath out for 4. Keep going. So this is for the physical body, bringing strength and balance into the systems. Lovely. Now just let the hands rest into the lap again. And bring your attention into the center of the chest. And I want you to imagine, visualize, some of you might be able to see, if you are sensitive to energy, that there is a light in the center of the chest, which is about the size of a thumb. And there's reference to this in many different cultures. And in the Hindu culture, references as the thumb-sized being enshrined in the heart. So just get a sense of connection to that light there, that ever-present observer of this particular incarnation on planet Earth, in this particular gravity suit, biological vehicle. Just observing it, observing the experience. And I want you to focus on the sound of the breath. And we're going to give the breath a silent mantra. It's known as the breath mantra. So as you inhale, I want you to focus on the sound of so, S-O. And as you exhale, the sound hum, H-A-A-M. So hum. Whenever the mind wanders, just bring it back to that silent mantra. So it's the mantra of the breath. And it roughly translates as, I am that I am. So thatness is this observing presence, and some of us might call it the soul, divine light, God within us, whatever you want to call it. Maybe the force be with you. The words that we use are unimportant, to be honest with you. What's important is that connection to the source energy within us. So without it, we would cease to exist, because it's what animates us. Be aware of that awareness. And then we can shift just momentarily to another mantra, which is in English, which is one that Sadhguru uses, which is when you breathe in, you say to yourself, I am not this body. And when you breathe out, I am neither this mind. And just keep going. So the in-breath is, I am not this body. I am neither the mind. And as you work on this simple mantra, become aware of the things that are falling away, the things that we identify with, the things that we become attached to. You know, our identification as I am a mother, I am a father, I am a son, whatever those identifications are, just let them fall away. I am not this body. I am neither this mind. So the thoughts, the conversations, let it all go. And as you slowly work with this mantra, you start to feel space being created, because we're not identifying with these other things that aren't really what we are at all. Now let's switch back to the other mantra. So we now identify with the light source within us. So Soham. If you prefer the English translation, then use that instead. I am that, as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, that I am. This is just a reverse of the words. Just feeling that lovely, beautiful ebb and flow of the breath as the in-breath slowly turns and becomes the out-breath. And the out-breath turns inwards and becomes the in-breath. The eternal exchange of energy. As we inhale, we allow the macrocosm to pour into us, the universe, into the microcosm. And then as we exhale, the microcosm pours out into the macrocosm. So contained within us is the entire universe. Be aware of that space within you. So hum. Or if you prefer, I am that. That I am. Lovely. Now let's shift back to release the identification with the body and the mind. So as you breathe in, I am not this body. I am neither this mind. Keep bringing the mind back to that statement. I am not this body. I am neither this mind. Again, shift back into the breath mantra. Soham, I am that I am, that energy, the divinity that is in all of us. It's what makes up the universe. Feel the space inside of you, that sense of the whole of the universe within you. Feel that sense of expansion outwards, so the body's almost dissolved. And we're now just the universe, stardust. Lovely. Now keeping the attention on the heart space. I want you to imagine that your bodies are like a vast body of water. And we're going to drop sound like a pebble into this central part of the body, which is the heart space. If you can imagine three-dimensionally this vast body of water that makes you up. And we're going to drop a sound, and we're going to feel that sound ripple outwards from the heart space, so it becomes vast and it comes out beyond the body. And the sound is simply Om. So just join in when you feel ready. Just go really quietly. Om. Visualize the ripples as you drop the sound into the heart space. Be aware of your attention moving way beyond the physical body, feeling yourself beyond the physical. See if you can imagine these, or even sense that these ripples are moving way beyond the confines of your house now, outwards into space in all directions. Just resting in that space that you've created, that vast space that is beyond the confines of the physical vehicle, that there is a sense of expansion, space, eternity, infinity. As you focus on that sense of infinite awareness out beyond the body, I want you to bring the hands together and notice that the hands create that awareness of the physical vehicle, but we're still expanded out beyond, like a huge radar outwards into the universe. And then bring your attention inwards, 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 until you're back focusing on that tiny point of light within you. I know that this is actually really vast. It's a bit like the TARDIS, actually. You step into it, you realise that it's an infinite expanse inside of yourself. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, bring them down through the midline. And just take a moment to bow the head to the heart, to the light within you. And namaste.